Allow yourself to take a moment and center yourself. Set an intention. Set an intention for the practice, but also set an intention for the next week ahead or for a longer period of time if you like, to just let your focus be on what you want more of in life and anything that you want to just let go of. We might have a few ideas with those things, but allow yourself to notice your breathing. Notice the rhythm of your breath, the depth and the pace. Allow yourself to begin to slow the exhale down a bit more. Let the inhale be deeper and more expansive, long, slow, steady exhale. Now, after this next inhale, we're going to begin to lower the chin to the chest. As the chin comes down, maybe your hands are resting beside you. Notice if the chin reaches the chest or if there's some tension in the back of the neck. And on the inhale, lift your head up to level. Lift it above level while you have the neck nice and elongated so there's no compression at the base of the skull. And on the exhale, lower the chin down. Begin to round your shoulders forward a bit. So let's continue with this movement at your own pace. Flexion and extension of your spine. You can move it further and further down into the back. You might be deciding you need to spend a little more time on the neck and shoulders. Just give yourself permission to move in a way that feels comfortable to you, that's getting rid of some back tension, but we're not forcing our body into something more expansive than feels right to us at this time. One more time, inhale. And then on the exhale, let's bring our hands forward to our knees. Round out your mid-back even more. Maybe even allow the abdomen to press toward the spine. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and bring our hands in close to our hips. Lean forward. So as you have your hands in close to the hips, you're limiting how far forward you're going. You're going to be lengthening the spine. You might feel the glutes in the back of the legs stretching. And breathe. Now, let's take our hands out in front and then walk your hands over to the right and notice how the left side of your body feels. So this is a modification on the lateral flexion of your spine. Your spine is hinging to one side, but this is going to really open up a lot of space in the side body. Bring your hands back to center. Take your hands to the left and notice how the right side of your body feels. And then let's come back to center. Let's walk your hands in and then allow yourself to lift the shoulders up. Squeeze the shoulders together and back. Let your hands come down behind you. Sweep the arms forward, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, draw your shoulders back, release them down. And again, bring the arms forward, lift them up, and on the exhale, draw your shoulders back, release your hands behind you, maybe fingertips or the palms. Work your hands in a little bit closer to one another. So now we're sitting up nice and tall, letting all the muscles along the spine shorten and soften. We're going to get a big stretch across the chest, which can feel energizing, but also can sometimes feel a little bit anxiety producing. Now let's keep the right hand where it's at. Bring your left hand over to your right knee. Notice how this feels. You're twisting your spine. Start out with a gentle twist. Now if you want a deeper twist, slide the hand in closer to your hip, press against the thigh a little bit more, and breathe. Make sure your neck's nice and neutral and relaxed. And we're going to come back to center. Bring your left hand behind you. Sit tall. Right hand can come over to the left leg. And again, maybe slide the hand in closer. And breathe. Now we're going to come back to center after we did our basic warm-up. So let's consider coming to all fours. Let's ease our hips back toward our heels. Stack your hands underneath your forehead for a child's pose. Again, child's pose is going to add compression to your knees, your hips, your abdomen. Now let's extend our arms out in front, palms on the mat. Shift your body forward, bring your shoulders over your wrists. And on the exhale, let's release our hips down. Inhale, lift your hips up, and exhale, ease your hips back towards your heels. So we'll start to move the body a little bit, moving the joints in the legs, getting a nice stretch. Take your time. Now, when you come forward this time, once the hips release, let's hang out here for a moment or two. And then we're going to bend our elbows. We're going to lower down to our forearms. Let's place the elbows underneath the chest, forearms and palms on the mat for a Sphinx pose. You can lift your head and chest up higher or let the head and chest drop closer to the mat. Just a mild back bend here and breathe. See if you can let your hips release a little bit more tension. Now you might angle your forearms out toward the corners of the mat and then press into your palms and come up off the mat. Now try to unlock your elbows a little bit and unclench your glutes. Now this is a back bend. It's going to stretch deeply through those hip flexors and breathe. And then from here, we're going to lift our hips up, walk your hands in. As you take your knees wide, come into another child's pose, which is going to let go of more low back tension this time. The knees can be as wide as feels comfortable for you. It's going to give you a deeper stretch in the inner thighs and release a lot more back tension here. And then from here, we're going to lift our head up. Let's come to a tabletop, a full tabletop this time with wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to move through a little more flexion and extension of our spine. Lift your gaze forward. Let the center of your spine drop down. Tailbone tilts up. And then on the exhale, let's tuck the tailbone, draw your chin to your chest, and lift the center of your spine up toward the ceiling. So let's move through the flexion and extension of our spine here. Take your time. Let the movement be much smaller and more gentle if you like, or make it more expansive. Once more, inhale. And once more on the exhale. Now let's take our right leg back behind us, tuck the toes, level your hips out so that you get a nice stretch in the back of the leg. Now you might go ahead and slide your right leg across the left, tuck your toes on the outside of the body. It's going to give you a nice hip stretch as it is, but if you look over your left shoulder at your right foot, this is going to bring you into a full lateral flexion of your spine. And breathe. Now bring your right leg back to center. We'll step that right leg forward and through. Let's put our hands on the inside of that right foot and let's ease our hips forward and back. So let's take our time as we move through this. Checking in with the joints, the muscles in the legs. And breathe. It's a good way to get everything mobile. Make sure that you're not doing too much right off the bat because we are going to go into some deeper movements here. Now from here, you might go ahead and place your left hand across the right foot, right hand on your right knee, turn your torso to the right, lift the right arm up possibly, maybe tuck your toes on your left leg, come off that left kneecap, and bring yourself into a modified twisted low lunge. And breathe. And then we're going to go ahead and put our right hand down on our right knee, gently set the left knee down. And we're going to lift ourselves up, bring our torso over our left hip, adjust the right foot as feels right to you. We want to have enough space between the left knee and the right foot, and we want to have some stability here. Let's lift our arms up overhead, palms facing each other. Interlace the fingers if you like. We can draw our arms back. Keep our gaze forward. This is a great shoulder opening stretch. If you decide to look up toward the ceiling, that's going to add a balance challenge as well. And breathe. Now we're going to go ahead and lower the arms down. Separate the hands. Let them come behind the back. Interlace your fingers. Draw the shoulder blades close to each other and drop the shoulders a bit. And then decide if you want to hinge forward to a flat back. Bring your right shoulder to the inside of that right knee. Lift the arms up overhead in a humble warrior. And breathe. Now let's release the hands back down on the inside of that right foot. Step your right leg back, and let's come back to our tabletop again. Extend your left leg, tuck your toes, level the hips. Decide if you want to stay here, just pressing through the heel, or slide that left leg across. Tuck the toes, look over your right shoulder at your left foot, and breathe. Now bring that left leg back to center. Step the left leg forward and through. Hands on the inside of that left foot. Let's squeeze our hips forward and back. So moving through your range of motion here. Again, being mindful of knees, ankles, hips, hamstrings, and quadriceps. And breathe. Again, we might put our right hand across from that left foot, left hand on the left knee, turn to the left, lift your left arm up. Maybe tuck your toes on your right leg, come off your kneecap, and breathe. Modified twisted low lunge. Left hand comes down on the left knee. Gently set that right knee down. Let's lift our torso up. Bring our torso over the right hip, and then adjust that left foot. Let your arms relax. Decide if you want to lift the arms up overhead. Maybe interlace the fingers. Let's draw the arms back. Keep your gaze forward. You might decide to lift your gaze up. Take it into a deeper back bend. Just be mindful and notice how it feels. And then we're going to come back to neutral. Separate the hands, draw them behind the back. Interlace your fingers. Drop the shoulders, hinge forward to a flat back if you choose. Left shoulder to the inside of that left knee. Lift your arms up overhead, humble warrior. And breathe. And then we're going to release our hands down on the inside of that left foot. And then from here, let's go ahead and step that left foot back. Now this time we're going to draw our right knee forward. Keep it centered, and then decide if you want to turn it to the side so that your chin is parallel with the top of the mat. Tuck your toes on your left leg, slide the leg back, and then walk your hands in close. So we're coming into a pigeon pose. So this is the back bending version of pigeon pose. We can do a supine one. We can do the one from all fours here, and this one does give us more of a back bend, stretching that left hip flexor. We can stay here, or we can bend our elbows and fold over this leg. Come down onto your forearms, stack your hands flat underneath fists. You're going to get a pretty good stretch in that right hip, the thigh as well, but you're also getting compression in the abdomen. So take it all in and modify where you need to. Now, we'll place our hands on the mat again, walk our hands back in, bring the hands in close to the body, tuck the toes on the left leg so you come off the left kneecap, press against your palms, and that will lift you right up off that knee. And then from here, we're going to draw the left knee forward and through. Again, we might turn that left knee to the side, tuck the toes on the right leg, slide it back, walk your hands in, and come into the upright version of pigeon. Again, a great stretch through the front of the body, nice back bend. Give yourself permission to modify or make any adjustments here if you need to. Now you can stay in the upright version of pigeon, or you might decide to come into the sleeping pigeon version, which folds over that leg, stack your hands, let your head rest. More compression in the abdomen, the thigh and the hip. Forward folds are calming. Now, inhale, we'll lift our head up. Walk our hands back in, both hands on the mat. Tuck the toes on the right leg. Press against your palms. Come up off the mat and swing around into a seated position this time. Now, let's keep our right leg forward and bring our left leg back in a Z-sit. Allow yourself to put one hand on either side of your right knee. When you're ready, allow yourself to bend the elbows, lower down to that leg. Now, we don't have to go as far down as we can go. Use your arms to decide where you want to be with this. It does add a lot of compression to your abdomen, your thigh, and your hip. And inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. We're going to do this 2 more times. Exhale. And inhale. One final time. Exhale, lower down. And inhale as we come up. We decide if we want to come into a bit more of a twist. Take your hands to the outside of the knee. Walk your hands all the way back toward the hip if you want a deeper twist from the rib cage to the hips. Stay upright or fold over that leg and add a forward fold to it as well. So that becomes a deep twist, deep compression, forward folds are calming. Just make sure you can comfortably breathe here and relax into this. You're going to walk those hands back in. You might put your right hand behind your hip, keep the hips down on the mat, or press into that hand. Lift up, stretch your hip flexors, particularly this left hip flexor this time. Reach through that hand. And then we're going to lower the hips back down. Let's extend our left leg out. Keep the right leg centered. Place your hands in front of the ankle. Bend your elbows. Walk your hands out in front of you. Notice when you meet some resistance. Give yourself permission to breathe and relax. And if the body softens, if the resistance lets up, allow yourself to go a bit further forward and breathe. From here, we can decide if we want to walk our hands to the extended leg. Now, this is going to shift the focus of the stretch. You can put your hands on your thigh or slide your hands all the way to your ankle if you like. You're going to get a deep stretch in the extended leg, but notice how your opposite hip feels. Does it feel like you're letting go of some tension? Might help if you take the right hand to the outside of that left leg, ankle, or foot. And breathe. We're going to walk those hands back in. You can bring the left leg in front of the right. And easy seated. You might decide to choose square, foot on knee, knee on foot, or opt for shoelace with knee on top of knee. Take your arms out to shoulder height. Bring your right arm over your left. Give yourself a big hug here. Notice how this feels. Upper back is getting a nice stretch. Muscles in the chest are shortening and softening. It's a calming technique as well. Stay here or drop your chin. Come forward. Let the elbows rest on your knees or on the mat in front of you if you choose. Notice how this feels. Lots of compression in the abdomen. You might be feeling some back tension release as well. And then inhale, we're going to come back up. And on the exhale, let's unwind the arms. Extend them all the way out. Let your hands come down beside you. Continue to sit up nice and tall so that maybe when you have your hands flexed and they come down, there's a little space between the hands and the mat. You might put your fingertips down. Maybe let the palms press toward the floor. And then Consider turning your fingers toward the back of the mat, which is going to draw the shoulder blades in closer to one another. The muscles along the spine are going to shorten and soften. This is a good stretch right here. You might decide to drop the chin and stretch the back of the neck. You could stay right here or maybe make 3 somatic neck circles. Once the back of the neck releases the tension, maybe turn your head to the right. Look out over the right shoulder, lift your chin up from there. Bring your head to center, turn to the left, lower the chin down, back to center. So maybe a couple more circles like this. Take your time and breathe. So especially when we're using somatic movement like this, we really do want to take our time with it. We want to pay attention to what we're experiencing. It's not about getting the movement done. It's more about taking in what you're feeling, where you have too much tension. Come back to center. Lift your head back up. We don't want to push through that tension. So now we're going to go ahead and do this again on the other side. Left leg in front. Right leg comes back. One hand on either side of this knee. Give yourself permission to bend your elbows and start to lower down to that leg. Keep your elbows in close to your sides as you inhale and lift up. We're going to do that 2 more times. Keep it slow if you need it to be slow. We don't really have to go quickly, but you could. It's possible. You can engage those triceps more fully, maybe. And one more time, exhale, lower down. And then inhale, we're going to lift up. Again, we can stay here, but if we want more of a twist, we can add a deeper twist. We can stay upright with it, or we can fold over that leg and come down onto our forearms in deer pose and add that additional compression in the abdomen. Again, make sure that you can breathe comfortably though. When you're ready, we'll walk the hands back in. You can place that left hand behind your hip. Maybe hips stay down. Maybe you lift those hips up. Reach that right arm up and over and breathe. And then we're going to go ahead and lower back down. Let's extend our right leg out. Keep the left leg centered. Decide if we want to lean forward from the hips. Where do we want to take this? How deep a stretch do we want or need? And breathe. Again, if you meet some resistance, let yourself pause there. Notice the feelings that you're experiencing. Decide if you want to go deeper. You want to walk the hands out a bit further. Or maybe we just walk those hands over to that extended leg. Fold over that leg. Slide the hands to the ankle. Really good stretch in this extended leg. Notice your opposite hip as well. And then walk your hands back in. Maybe bring the right leg in front, easy seated. Foot on knee, knee on foot on this side, or possibly shoelace. This is a good one to see if it feels the same on both sides of the body. Sometimes it doesn't. Arms out to shoulder height. Left arm over the right. Give yourself a big hug here. Sit up tall, just taking that nice comforting feeling of arms across the chest, or decide if you want to lean forward. Come into a deeper forward fold. Give yourself permission to breathe and relax. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale, come back up. And on the exhale, let's unwind the arms. Extend them all the way out. Bring your hands down beside you as you sit nice and tall. Drop the shoulders down. Turn your fingers toward the back of the mat. Lower the chin to the chest. We might decide to make 3 neck circles. Allow yourself to turn your head to your left shoulder, lift the head up, bring the head to center, turn to the right, lower the chin down and back to center. So maybe a couple more circles like this. Again, remember when we're doing somatic movement, you give yourself permission to take time, pay attention to how it feels. Don't just push through the discomfort. One more time. When your head comes back to center this time, let's pause. Release your hands, lift your head up. And then from here, let's go ahead and straighten both legs out into a comfortable wide-legged position. And again, we want to scoot forward so we're sitting more toward the top of our thighs. Let your legs relax at first. You might put your hands in front. Allow your spine to elongate, lift up through the crown of the head. You might decide to hinge from the hip flexors and lean forward. You can walk your hands out. As you walk your hands out, notice when you meet some resistance again. You'll hear me repeat that often because sometimes we just push on through. We don't even stop to think, and that leads to injuries. When you come into this place and you feel that resistance, note it. Pay attention to it. Doesn't mean it's as far as you can go. But giving yourself permission to relax and make an adjustment, and then see if there's a little bit more available to you. Notice how your low back feels. Is it rounding or is it nice and elongated? Place your hands on your ankles if you like. Let your forearms rest on your shins. So we've already established a nice elongated spine forward fold. This gives us a chance to adjust the arm position and breathe. And then we're going to walk the hands back in. We might go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together and knees drop open. Start out with the feet further from your body so that the knees and hips have a chance to relax. Decide how this feels. If you feel like you need a little bit more of a stretch, bring the feet in a bit closer so the knees drop open more easily. You can adjust this until you feel like you've got the just right position. Maybe rock the hips a bit. That always helps to let them loosen it up a little bit. And then notice where your knees are at this point and notice if you're feeling this in the hip joints. You can put your hands behind your back and gently press into the hands. Now, if you do that, that's going to allow the knees to drop open a little bit more because it's going to take some of that compression out of the hips. So I usually do it like a little gentle press with my hands. And then notice how that feels. Maybe bring your hands back to your ankles now and sit up tall. Try to lift the crown of the head away from the base of the body. Let your shoulders relax and breathe. And then you can add a forward fold from here. You've already elongated the spine. Hip flexors are going to feel this quite a bit, or the hip joints particularly. Walk your hands out. And again, when you meet that resistance, notice it. Don't push through the pain. Back off from the pain, as a matter of fact. If you feel resistance and it feels challenging but not painful, then you can hang out there longer. But again, if it's painful, ease up a bit. Give yourself permission not to have to force or push anything. We're going to walk those hands back in again. We might go ahead and place our feet on the mat. Wrap your hands around your shins, sit nice and tall here. This is going to give you an opportunity to elongate the spine and breathe. You could have your hands just resting on your knees, but if it gives you the ability to sit up a little taller, you might consider this. That way the knees are in close to you, your shoulders are relaxed, crown of the head is elongated, up away from your shoulders, giving your neck some space to let go of tension. And then we're going to go ahead and extend our left leg out. So we've already got that right knee in. You can cross the right knee over the left. Left leg can stay straight, or you might decide to bend that knee and bring it into the hip. It's your choice. Put your left hand on the right knee. Again, we're going to sit up nice and tall. So that allows you to have more space to breathe after you consider looking at your right shoulder and possibly placing your right hand behind your right hip. Left hand can hang out on the top of that right knee. It can pull it into the center, which is going to stretch your right IT band more. You could wrap the elbow around that knee or let the elbow rest on top of the knee. So allow yourself to notice how this feels and breathe. Now we're going to inhale and come back to center. Place your right hand on your right ankle and let's twist in the opposite direction. The twist to the right the first time is going to feel more compressive. This one's going to feel like it's opening up more space, but it's still challenging. Let's come back to center. Re-extend this left leg. And then bring your right leg on the inside and maybe put your foot somewhere along the inside of this left leg. It can be anywhere from your ankle up to the top of your thigh. Sit tall. Again, we might lean forward from our hips, slide your hands down towards your ankle. And when you get to a place again where the stretch feels like enough, give yourself permission to hang out there for a bit. It's possible your body will relax and let you go beyond that, but let's not force it or push it until it just feels like that's a good idea. And breathe. Walk your hands back in. Bring that right knee in. You might extend that right leg out. Bring the left knee in this time. Keep it on the inside or cross over. Right leg can stay straight. Or bend the knee into the hip. Right hand comes on top of the left knee. Sit up tall. Allow yourself to take a nice deep twist. Hand can rest behind you. Again, do we pull the knee in to get the IT band stretch? Do we wrap the elbow around it to get more compression in the abdomen? Or let it rest on top? Press into that knee and that opens up more space to breathe in the twist. And breathe. Just notice how you feel with these poses. Now we're going to come back to center. Bring that right hand to the right ankle and twist. Left hand to the left ankle and twist to the right. And remember my right from my left. But notice how this feels. And breathe. And then we're going to come back to center. Re-extend that right leg. Bring the left leg on the inside somewhere. Anywhere that feels comfortable for you so that we can focus on the extended leg. Sit tall. Hinge forward from our hip flexors. Slide your hands down to your ankle. Give yourself permission to notice how this feels and just breathe. Again, this right hand might come to the outside of that left leg, ankle, or foot. It adds a slightly different dimension to it. So allow yourself to explore slight nuances to poses, something that seems like it might feel pretty good to you if you tried it. And breathe. We're going to walk those hands back in. We might do one more thing before we come onto our back. So we might place both feet on the mat. Wrap your hands around your shins, sit up nice and tall. So this is going to help alleviate back tension. You might rock back, find a balance point. You could slide your hands right behind your kneecaps. Relax the shoulders, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Maybe extend your feet out in front of you. You might extend your arms, both pose, and breathe. Now let's set those feet back down. Wrap your hands around your shins, sit tall again. Maybe you reach through and grab a hold of your big toes here. Rock back, find your balance point. You could begin to straighten those legs out in front of you. As you move your legs, it's constantly shifting your perceived center of gravity, so take your time. You might straighten those legs fully. Maybe we take the legs wide for a wide-legged boat. Sit up tall. Press through the soles of the feet. And then we're going to go ahead and bring those feet together. Place the feet down. Wrap your hands around your shins one more time. Sit nice and tall. Now let's place our feet on the mat. Ease our hips toward our heels. Slowly lower down to constructive rest pose. Let's start out by positioning our feet where it feels most comfortable for us. You can press into the feet, lift your hips up, decide if you want your hips wider than are your feet wider than your hips. You could have them turned out to the sides. Maybe you bring them in closer. Lift your head up, elongate your neck, adjust the shoulders. Let your hands rest on your body or away from the body. Take a few moments and notice your breathing. So whether or not you have your feet situated and the knees not moving, or the knees moved slightly, either way, whatever feels most relaxing to you at this point. If you are moving your knees from side to side, notice just how much range of motion you're using here, and are you pushing into a place that feels uncomfortable, or is it nice and relaxing? To start out with, we just want this to be calming and relaxing, not forcing anything. Breathe. Now, as you move like this, you might find that your body wants you to take it deeper. And if that's the case, give yourself permission to do that. Maybe your body says, now let's just stay here in this nice comfort zone, and that's good too. The main thing is that we're paying attention to what our body's telling us it needs. And breathe. Now, we're going to come back to center. Walk your feet in close to each other. Ankles and knees touch. Let the knees shift to the left. Extend your right arm out. Look towards your right hand. Now, this is a twist from the base of our skull to our tailbone. Allow yourself to notice whether or not this is comfortable. Maybe you're trying to hold the knees symmetrically together. If that's the case, let your leg muscles relax a little bit. They're not actually going to fall together symmetrically generally. Now, notice if your toes are curled up or your feet are flexed intensely. Let's see if we can let go of some of that tension. If your hands are clenched in fist, relax your fingers. Check in with your jaws. Notice if you're clenching your teeth. What about your temples or behind your eyes or the forehead? Anywhere that you find tension, let's see if we can soften and relax a bit more. You wouldn't think we'd have to practice giving ourselves permission to relax, but you'd be surprised how hard it is for some people. So let's bring the knees back to center. Let your knees shift to the right. Extend your left arm out. Look towards your left hand. And once again, we're going to see if we can relax like 5, 10, maybe even 15% more. Where are you holding tension? Where can you soften and let go? And breathe. We're going to let the knees come back to center. From here, you might lift your feet up off the floor. You can let your hands rest on your knees, roll across your sacrum a bit. Keeping the knees out away from your body is going to minimize the compression in the abdomen. And breathe. You might draw the knees in closer. That's going to add additional compression to the abdomen, which will encourage digestion. It'll help ease some back tension. Notice if you want to stay static here with this, or if you want to go back to that rocking effect. And breathe. You might just go ahead and slide your hands behind the kneecaps, palms facing in toward the thighs. Let's consider straightening the legs up toward the ceiling, partially or fully. Keep your hands here for support, or let the hands relax down. So legs up the wall, great inversion, giving yourself some time to notice how this feels. You can use the wall if you want to. You don't have to. You can keep your hands here for some moral support, or decide to just let the legs do their thing. Again, remember thinking about the circulation in your legs. It's going to help that circulation. It will strengthen your heart and digestive system, reduces anxiety and insomnia. Again, using that wall will make it restorative. So it doesn't have to be completely focused on using all your strength. If you really just want to wind down at the end of the day, maybe you decide to point and flex your feet, stretch the legs a bit, notice what you're feeling and where, and breathe. Now from here, we're going to bend that right knee, put the right foot down. Let's draw that left knee in toward our chest, and then slide that left knee to the outside of the torso, close to your shoulder. So taking that compression off the abdomen, but notice you've got some good compression going on in your left hip and knee. Stay here, or lift the sole of the foot up toward the ceiling. Let your hand rest on the edge of that foot. When you do this, this is going to give you a nice stretch or nice compression in your left hip, knee, and ankle. And breathe. You might decide to open this left leg out to the left side of the body. So you could loop your fingers around the big toe. You might decide to begin to extend that leg. Maybe you don't fully extend it, or maybe you do. If you can't fully extend it by holding on to the toe, you might just put your hand under your leg and kind of guide that leg out into a nice stretch. Taking the leg out here from the side body, inner thigh stretch, back of the leg stretch. Breathe. So noting that you can do the same type of thing for a particular body part in a lot of different fashions. So if you don't like the one suggested, think about how would you be able to enjoy that pose. Rebend that left knee. Let's bring it back to center. You might decide to put the left foot on top of the right knee, supine pigeon. You can bounce that left knee. That's going to stretch the inner thigh a little bit. It's going to work on that hip. If you want more than this, bring your right knee into your chest. Wrap your hand around your right shin if you like, and breathe. That's going to be a lot more of an intense stretch in that left hip. You also feel it in the knee, maybe the ankle, and breathe. Now, let's put the right foot down. Slide the left knee over on top of the right knee. Internal rotation of your thighs. Notice how this feels. It's a good stretch as it is, but if it doesn't feel like much of anything and you need more, you can let the knees drop over to the right. Extend your left arm out. Now you've got a twist going on in your spine from the base of the skull to the tailbone. Deep stretch in the hip and in your shoulder. Just give yourself permission to notice how this feels. You still want to be able to relax and breathe in these poses. So always see if you can take your relaxation to another level, maybe. Now from here, you might decide to straighten this top leg, this left leg, out away from the body. Reach for that left big toe with your right hand and give yourself a chance to stretch this left leg while your left arm is extended out to the other side. So this is a pretty good twist all through the torso. And breathe. Good leg stretch, good shoulder stretch. Now rebend that left knee. Let's bring both legs back to center. And then allow yourself to bring your right knee into your chest. Again, notice how this feels. You might decide to slide this right knee out to the outside of the torso. You can reach for the edge of the foot, lift the sole of the foot up toward the ceiling. Loop your fingers around that big toe. Extend that leg out to the side. Inner thigh stretch. Back of the leg stretch. And breathe. Now rebend that knee. Let's bring this right foot over and place it on top of the left thigh. Supine pigeon. Bounce the knee a bit. Notice how this feels. Again, it might be enough of a stretch here, but you can also bring that left knee in. Wrap your hand around that left shin if you like. Extend the left leg up toward the ceiling. Interlace behind the back of that leg. Maybe reach for the left big toe with your right hand. And breathe. Now, rebend that left knee. Slide the right knee over on top of the left knee. Internal rotation of your thighs, targeting your right hip. Let's let the knees drop to the left. Extend your right arm out. Look towards your right hand. Nice deep twist. Going to have a lot of twists through the torso. Nice stretch in the hip and shoulder. And breathe. You could stay right here, but once again, you might want to straighten that right leg out. You can reach for that right big toe with the left hand. And that's going to give you a chance to get a good leg stretch in along with a deep twist. And breathe. Release that right big toe, rebend your knee. Let's bring both legs back to center. Allow yourself to rock a little bit across your low back here. Taking those knees out to the sides. Maybe loop your fingers around your big toes and then straighten both legs out into a supine wide-legged pose. Back of the leg stretch, inner thigh stretch. If you press through the soles of the feet, that gives you an even deeper stretch. Flex the feet a bit more to deepen it further. Let's go ahead and bring those feet back together. Let's allow yourself to slide your feet to the end of the mat. Reach your arms overhead. Let's stretch out from our fingertips to our toes here. Point and flex your feet a few times. Reach through those fingers. Again, if you're feeling any discomfort, you can always ease up on that part of the body that you might be feeling it. You can shake your legs out a bit. You might bring those hands down next to your hips, palms up. Shavasana pose, feet off the sides, palms up, or corpse pose. This is generally meant to be just a nice relaxing pose, but I want you to check in with your back, maybe your shoulders, the legs. If this is not comfortable, there's lots of alternatives, so you might rebend those knees and let them rest against each other. You can roll onto your side or roll onto your abdomen. You can curl up in a ball. If you have a wall nearby and you want to use a passive legs up the wall, using the wall to rest your legs on as you do your final relaxation, that's a good idea too. But once you get into position, we're going to begin to let go of doing and allow ourselves to simply be. Again, the whole point of yoga is not the doing. It's in just being exactly as we are in the moment. Seems like we go all day. We're pushing ourselves. We're not even stopping to pay attention to how we're being in the moment. So after moving our body and getting into a more relaxed state, we might find it's easier to bring some awareness to things like our breathing, the rhythm, the depth, the pace. Observe it. Don't try to fix it or change it at this time. So this is where we're entering that part of yoga that really matters. Yoga is about being. So we moved our body to get rid of as much tension as we could, and now we're paying attention to how is the breath right now. Is it fast or slow, deep or shallow? Don't try to fix it or change it, just observe it. Now allow yourself to scan through the body and notice where you're holding on to tension. Allow yourself to notice your jaws. Are you clenching your teeth? Is there some tenderness right where the jaws meet, near your ears? What about behind your eyes? or across your forehead? Are you able to notice the sensation in your tongue and the roof of your mouth? Allow yourself to notice across the base of the skull. Is there any tenderness there? Pressure, tightness? The back of the neck, sides of the neck, the throat? Allow yourself to notice any sensations. Bring your awareness to the tops of the shoulders. Does it feel like you've been carrying all the weight of the world on your shoulders today? Notice above and below your collarbones, any tension there. Bring your awareness to the space between your shoulder blades. Noticing any sensation through the shoulder area. Allow yourself to notice the length of your spine, the vertebrae. Notice if there's any compression in the back. Notice those muscles of the upper back, the scapula, the rib cage, the muscles supporting. Notice your mid back and low back. Feel and sense the entire back of your torso as sensation. Now, come around to the front of the torso, the collarbones, the sternum, the rib cage, so protecting the heart and lungs. Bring your awareness to your solar plexus, the diaphragm, your abdomen. Allow yourself to feel and sense the front of the torso and the back of the torso together. Feel and sense your arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers. Take a moment and just feel and sense your hands. Notice the vibration, the tingling, the sensation in your hands. The hands are filled with sensory points. When you stop and pay attention, you begin to notice how much sensation you're actually having in your hands. Bring your awareness to the hips, the sacrum, the entire pelvis. And then allow yourself to notice your thighs, tops of the thighs, inner thighs and outer thighs, the backs, the knees. Notice those knees, any sensation there. What about your shins, your calves, your ankles, your heels, the soles of the feet, tops of the feet, and each of your toes? Allow yourself to take in the energy of the body from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Allow yourself to notice your emotions, your thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. Give yourself permission to take in everything that you're experiencing right now in your body. Allow yourself to feel and sense all the things that we mentioned and any others that you became aware of as you were practicing. Give yourself permission to take time out to just be exactly as you are in this moment. How often do you give yourself permission to do that? This is yoga. Just being exactly as you are. We move our body to get rid of any pent up tension or stiffness or just unawareness. And then we come into stillness, and that's where we begin to really connect and begin to recognize that we're enough exactly as we are, that we don't have to fix or change anything at all. to be enough. We already are enough. And take this time to just be. And before we begin to open our eyes or move again, allow yourself to set an intention for the rest of your evening, maybe the rest of the week, the month, the year. Setting intentions can be powerful, and I know we feel like we don't have a lot of control over the way that the world is now or the things that are happening, but our intention is powerful, and cumulatively, it can be even more powerful. Give yourself permission to just set the intention of how you want things to be. Now, when it feels right to you, allow yourself to move your body once again. Allow yourself to come back up to a seated posture. Sit in a way that suits you. Use a mudra of your choice if you like. This week I've been using Hakini a lot. That's all the fingertips, just press the pads of the fingers, press in together, creating a small circle in front of you, represents wholeness or wellness. Let's take a moment and actually breathe and notice. Notice what you experienced tonight. I want to thank you all for sharing your practice with me tonight. I honor the place in you, which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace from my heart to yours. Namaste.